Hi everyone, welcome back to EngliTales journey. Today I'm going to tell you a story that will change the way you think. It's not just a history story, it's a life lesson. A story of a little boy who grew up to change the world, not with strength, not with money, but with the power of questions. His name was Plato. This story will also help you learn English in a simple and beautiful way. So listen carefully. And whenever I say, repeat with me, you can practice English sentences aloud. Ready? Let's begin the story. Many years ago in ancient Greece, a baby was born in a city called Athens. The year was around 427 BC, a time of great art, music, poetry, and war. That baby's name was Plato. Plato's family was rich and noble. He had everything, comfort, education, friends, and respect. But he had something even more powerful: curiosity. When other children played games, Plato sat under trees and asked questions. He would ask, why do stars shine? Why do people fight? Why do some people lie and others tell the truth? His parents sometimes laughed and said, you think too much, Plato. But Plato didn't stop thinking. He loved questions. Repeat with me. Questions make me smarter. Curiosity is my superpower. Even as a child, Plato believed, knowledge is not about memorizing answers. It's about understanding life. Athens, the city where Plato grew up, was full of life. There were markets full of colorful fruits and shining pottery, theaters full of music and laughter, and grand temples built for the gods. But behind the beauty, there was confusion. People argued about power and politics. Leaders made rules, but not everyone followed them. Poor people suffered. Rich people fought for control. Plato watched everything carefully. He realized people are smart, but not always good. He asked himself, what makes a person truly wise? Can a city be just and fair? What is right and what is wrong? These questions were seeds planted deep in his mind. One day they would grow into ideas that would change the world. Repeat with me, wisdom is better than wealth. Goodness is greater than power. One day, when Plato was a teenager, he met a strange-looking old man in the marketplace. The man had no fancy clothes, no shoes, no money, but his eyes were bright like fire. His name was Socrates. Socrates didn't lecture people. He didn't say, I know everything. Instead, he asked questions, deep, simple questions that made people think. What is justice? What is love? What is truth? Who are you, really? When people answered, he would smile and ask, are you sure? People in Athens were confused by him. Some admired him, others mocked him. But young Plato, he was amazed. He followed Socrates everywhere, into the streets, the gardens, the corners of the city. He wrote down everything his teacher said. From Socrates, Plato learned a powerful lesson. The first step to wisdom is to know that you know nothing. Repeat with me. I am ready to learn. I don't know everything, and that's okay. But life is not always fair. The leaders of Athens grew angry with Socrates. They said he was teaching young people to question too much, to think instead of obeying. Socrates was arrested. The trial was unfair. The judges asked him to stop teaching. But Socrates said, I cannot stop searching for truth. And so they gave him poison to drink. Plato was there. He saw his teacher smiling even as he drank. Tears filled Plato's eyes. That day, he learned that truth can be dangerous, but silence is worse. He whispered to himself, I will keep my teacher's voice alive. I will continue his work. Repeat with me. Truth may be painful, but it is powerful. I will not give up. After Socrates' death, Plato felt lost. He left Athens and traveled to many lands, Egypt, Italy, and other parts of the ancient world. He studied mathematics, astronomy, religion, and philosophy. He met priests, scientists, and thinkers. Everywhere he went, he asked questions. He compared ideas, connected thoughts, and collected wisdom. He learned that truth is like a diamond. You have to polish it from many sides to see it shine. Repeat with me. Learning never ends. Every place, every person can teach me something. Slowly, Plato began to write. He didn't write boring books. He wrote dialogues where two people talk, think, and learn together. These writings became the foundation of Western philosophy. Years later, Plato returned home to Athens. He had grown wiser, calmer, and stronger. He decided to build something new, a place where young minds could grow freely, a place where learning was not about memorizing, but about understanding. He called it the Academy, the first university in the world. Here, students didn't sit silently. They debated, discussed, and asked questions, just like Socrates did. They studied mathematics, science, art, ethics, and logic. One of Plato's brightest students was a young man named Aristotle, who later became a teacher to Alexander the Great. Plato's ideas had now started shaping the entire world. Repeat with me. A good teacher can change a student. A great teacher can change the world. Plato spent his life writing and teaching. He dreamed of a perfect world, a world where leaders were philosophers, where people cared for truth more than wealth, and where every soul tried to be good and wise. He once said, "The greatest victory is to conquer yourself." Plato believed that the mind is like a cave. Most people see only shadows on the wall, but the wise person turns around and looks for the light. Repeat with me. I will look for the light. I will find my truth. His words became eternal. They inspired scientists, poets, and leaders for thousands of years. So what can we learn from Plato's story? 1. Be curious. Always ask why. 2. Be brave. Speak the truth, even when it's hard. 3. Be patient. Wisdom takes time to grow. 4. Be kind. Knowledge without kindness is empty. 5. Keep learning. Never stop improving yourself. Plato's life teaches us that real power is not in money or fame. It's in understanding yourself and helping others learn. Repeat with me. I am a learner. I am strong. I will never stop learning. Friends, your journey is just like Plato's. Every question you ask, every word you learn, is a step toward becoming wiser and more confident. Learning English is not just about grammar or vocabulary. It's about expressing your ideas, your thoughts, and your truth. So keep asking, keep practicing, and keep believing. Because one day, your words, your questions, might change someone's life, just like Plato's did. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to EngliTales Journey. Click the bell icon so you never miss a story that helps you grow, in English and in life. Remember, the more you learn, the brighter you shine. See you in the next story.